This week, we talk about something you don't usually see on a sailing channel. We get bored. We get pinned down by weather. So follow along as we explain our first experience with it and how we avoid the boredom that comes along with anchoring in rough winds for a prolonged amount of time. It's gold on it, gold.
'Cause even in the madness, there is peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you are writing a symphony, a symphony. Oh.
Yeah.
We are anchored off of Chat and Chill Beach, and we are waiting for some weather to come in. It's been in the weather models for 4 or 5 days now that we're going to get somewhere between 20 and 30 knots of wind for 4 to 8 hours, something like that. So we came to Georgetown to drop off friends, and we decided we'd just stay here and find a spot to park. Well, lots of other people have that idea as well. There's probably 200 boats in the harbor right now, all jockeying for different positions to be in the right spot when the wind comes. The thing is, it's 20 to 25 knots of wind in the models. We've been in that wind. It's actually fun to sail in if the conditions are right. So I'm not sure what the big worries are. They keep on talking about a big blow. Well, you just need to take certain precautions. This is basic stuff you learn in your first sailing class, right? Have good ground tackle, let out the right amount of scope, be vigilant, watch for other boats, have a plan for when things go wrong. Find a spot where there are not any boats between you and where the wind is coming from if you can. And that's what we've done. We're anchored in a spot where the wind should be coming out of the northwest, which is over my right shoulder. If the predictions are wrong and it comes more westerly, it'll come down the harbor. But again, it's not going to be days of building. It'll be a short period of wind. So if there are waves, so be it. When we were in Rum Key, we had 3 to 5 footers in the anchorage, and the occasional 6 or more, and we held just fine. I didn't even have out as much scope as we should have there, and we held just fine. So we'll see once this blows through. Maybe this will sound incredibly naive after it's all over, but I really think this is just doing what you should always do. Watch, look for other boats, make sure your ground tackle is good, and wait it out and just be vigilant. So we'll see what happens. Well, it's about 3 in the morning and the storm has rolled through. There was a lot of rain and winds were gusting to 25 knots, but everything seems to be fine. We're just gonna stay up and watch the others in the anchorage and just keep an eye out for things. You can see in the anchorage a lot of lights, different people with flashlights and things like that as they're getting up and taking a look and seeing what's going on, but not bad. So yeah, as I suspected, you just gotta keep an eye out and watch and make plans to deal with problems if there are any. That morning, the wind was up as predicted, and it was coming right down the harbor, so the waves were on us. But it wasn't bad. Unfortunately, things on our boat tend to break at night or in bad weather, and we ended up with a small problem. So we noticed water pumping when we weren't using it. Not a lot, just a little bit, which sounds like a leak, right? Looked around and couldn't really find anything, and then heard the shower in William's bedroom gurgle, like do its pump out thing. and he hasn't taken a shower in a couple days. So went and looked in the bilges and finally saw some water dripping. Thought it was in one place, and the water travels everywhere in a boat, and so it took a while to track it down to his toilet, which had water around the base of it and was draining in. But that's not where the leak was. The leak was actually in the quick connect for the water supply for the toilet. One of the caps just cracked. That is not supposed to have a split. That is what the cap should look like. This one does not look like that. I've turned off the water so that I can take it off and see what I need to do to replace it. So after a quick trip over to my friend Shane's boat, who also has a Leopard 45, he had some of these connectors. And put it on, and it looks like it's holding pressure. So, mental note, buy some of these to have on your boat. If you look at this is crazy. Look at how the cap just kind of cracked in half. New boat and everything. Things break whether your boat's new or not. So, boat repair in the middle of bad weather. It seems like it's always either dark or bad weather when things break.
The wind ended up carrying on for days. I think it was 4 or 5 days of this. And watching the wind and your anchor and other boats and then the wind again, it really ends up taking its toll after a while. So we needed to find things to do, and I don't mean boat chores. With wind like this, it's a great time for learning more kiteboarding because I still suck at it. Our friends Tanya and Shane decided to hop in and take some lessons as well. We rented a car and headed to Cocoplum Beach, which I'm realizing now is great in almost any condition. I am at Cocoplum Beach, and I'm not on a kiteboard because the wind died. So I guess that just happens. It's unfortunate because this beach is perfect. It's nice and calm. I'm standing way offshore, and I'm in waist deep water. It's amazing, and all around it's just like this for what seems like miles. So it's a great place for kiteboarding. Over there on shore are my friends Shane and Tanya that are they're taking their first kiteboard lesson, where you work with trainer kites, learn how to fly the kite and how it works in the wind and all that stuff. It's really cool. So might be coming back tomorrow. The wind should be a little bit better, but might also just go over to Long Island with friends because they're going to go to the Blue Hole, which we really want to do. So don't know what we're going to do yet, but one of those things is going to happen tomorrow, and we'll see. And that's the beauty of this, right? You can just kind of do whatever you're wanting to do that day. Things change, schedules change, wind changes, and you just roll with it and choose to do whatever you want to do. It's so shallow here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little island right there. You can just walk over to it, and it's way offshore, but it's shallow all the way up there. If you have a chance and you're on Great Exuma Island, this is a place to come and at least spend a day just hanging out on the beach, because it's one of the coolest beaches I've seen out here yet. You can play for hours with the water being this shallow. We ended up going back to Cocoplum the next day because the winds came up again. Erin came along and she found a massive conch.
I'm going to try and cut up the conch. Huge conch that we found today.
Erin has never done this before, but like a lot of things we've learned on this journey, there was a YouTube video that showed her exactly what to do. And it turned out great. She made a conch salad with a bit of a Texas twist, and it was yummy. We ended up doing a lot of other things to distract us from the incessant wind. We went to Chat and Chill, just like everybody else did. We taught our friends a fun card game called Sheriff of Nottingham. Then they showed us an awesome card game called 313. Aaron even tried yoga. All in all, not the most exciting week out here. It was a new experience, staying put and riding out the weather while trying to keep your wits about you. And this happens down here this time of year. It'll probably happen in another couple of weeks, but this is part of it, and we gotta learn to deal with the not so fun or even boring parts of the journey, because it's still part of the journey. Thank you for watching our videos. It's fun getting comments each week from you guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, check us out on Instagram for up-to-date photos and videos of what we're doing. Next week, Aaron heads home for a week, and William and I are left on our own. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.
I love the music from NBA 2K22.
I mean, who doesn't? It's like
the dads everywhere.